rent a cabin with the gang. Like 12 of us in total, 7 guys, 5 girls, was with girl. Burrow 2 was with girl 2, Burrow 3 was with girl 2, Burrow 4 was with girl 4. Girl 5 had been dating Hercules but cheated on him with Paris and Hessen, IDK what they saw in her. But it always bothered me that it was an open secret that only Hercules wasn't in on. We didn't treat him the way we should have. French Parisian bro, 5'2", skateboards all day, very whiny and always finding something to complain about. Well, call him Paris. Prussian French bro, 6'12", blonde hair, blue eyes, claims decent from the von Hessen family. Well, call him Hessen. Greek bro, he's a character and a half, 6'4", long hair and thick beard, certified genius and dyslexic, claims decent from some Byzantine dynasty, claims an aunt of his married the king or prince of Greece during 001, claims to have seen Jesus or visions from God twice, and this was before he smoked weed or did shrooms. 1,000-yard stare, had the nickname Hercules because he would do shit that would need 3 people and wouldn't even break a sweat. Super shy and kind and would go out of his way to help people, and you wouldn't ever think he'd be able to hurt a fly, and for the most part, that's true, he could never hurt an innocent person, but when it comes to people who weren't innocent, he'd go apeshit, bananas if you will. One time, he catches a guy trying to R a girl in an alley. The man tried to threaten Hercules with a knife. Before the guy finished his threat, Hercules had taken out a metal car hook from his jacket pocket and knocked the guy's teeth out in one punch. We get to the woods, and everyone is wearing normal clothing and maybe a hiking stick, not Hercules. He has a clock, a Phrygian cap, and a handmade walking staff with a dangling cross and holy water. He also had a sword under his cape thing. He always went all out when he got the chance. He looks like a cross between a Christian Gandalf and a giant Greek gnome. Oh, and I almost forgot, his mom openly claims to be a witch. Hercules hates witches and witchcraft. Walking to cabin when we see like 4 people in robes off the trail. They're hiding behind some bushes and watching from a distance. We start speed walking, but we can see them every now and again following us. Hercules screams at them, asking if they're okay or needed help. They just smile and laugh at us, and one of them pulls out a sickle. Hercules laughs, pulls out his sword and screams. Friendly reminder, swords are longer than sickles. When I tell you Hercules isn't afraid of shit, I mean, he isn't afraid of jack shit. He's been chased by everything, from mountain goats to human traffickers. This guy will take magic mushrooms and watch horror movies, not even doing this at night. Scares the guy. Anyway, the 4 guys in robes just back into the woods and we think we scared them off. It's about to get weird. We get to the cabin and all looks normal. Hercules and the rest of the guys, along with some of the girls, start taking bong rips on the cabin porch. Hercules normally smokes around 1 to 2 ounces of weed a week, but brought 2 ounces for the weekend since we'd be a group. No matter how much Hercules smokes, he's sober, night comes around and we're all drunk and high. All of a sudden we hear a bang at the door. We look out the window, but it's pitch black outside. Hercules, backed by me, Hessen and Guy 2.3, open the door to find a squirrel with its throat cut and a note with a rubber band around it. If there is one way to make Hercules lose his shit, it's animal abuse. It's one thing to hunt, but this was a message. Hercules tries looking at what's on the note, but it's in Latin. Hercules is a polyglot. Hessen also knows a little Latin, but not much. Most of the letter is covered in blood, but they say it looks like a curse or some shit like that. Kultov Akin, Paris, in the kitchen area with Guy 4 and the girls, is pissing himself while trying to put on this fake tough persona for the girls. Hercules puts back on his gear, now with one of those flashlight headbands, and starts running out of the cabin and at what looked like a shadow that then started running from Hercules. As the guy run Hercules and picking up rocks and whipping them at the guy with the accuracy of a competition sniper. Robed shadow, Guy is basically dancing as he runs and gets hit. 3 more robed figures jump out of the pushes and start running at Hercules. Hercules whips a rock at one of the robed figures, hits them in the face, instant KO, pulls out his sword and some tiny shield that only really covers his hand, starts slashing into the dark and ends up cutting off someone's hand, and what looks like an axe falls. When the robed figure curls over their hand, Hercules grabs them by the back of their head and knees, them in the face. The one with the sickle actually managed to get there, weapon stuck in the small shield, and Hercules just grabbed the guy by the ears and started smashing his head into the guy's face repeatedly and just lets him go, dropping him like a rag doll. We're all in stunned amazement that this guy single-handedly took down these cultists, or whatever they were, as if he was the fucking Doom guy, pick-related. Sorta looks like his sword, but that's not the same one. Hercules just walks back into the cabin and starts asking if we are okay. Of course, the girls are freaking out and want to leave. Paris is also being a whinny little bitch and wants to leave. Not because he thinks that's best, but because that's what the girls want. Most of the guys are trying to convince them to stay at least until the morning. Hercules doesn't really see a difference, as he doesn't think they'd come back, but says that if we do leave, we have to stay in a tight group. It's about a 20-min walk or 15-min speed walk jog. We decide to try to make a run for it. We leave as a group, all huddled together, and Hercules screams into the night, "If I see you following us, I'll fucking kill you where you stand. This is your only warning." We did go to the Royal Mounted Police the next day and told them almost everything, left out the sword fight, but told them about the robed figures with weapons and the squirrel. They accused us of being high or drunk or whatever came to their mind. We went back to the cabin with the cops and they said to drop it. Otherwise, they would arrest us. They don't believe us. They think we accidentally burned down the cabin and made up the story. The cabin was fine when we left that night. There was no hands or weapons, just splatter and pools or dry blood. The cops don't even acknowledge the blood or the obvious cuts and bruises all over us from running through the woods at night, or any of the evidence that Hercules had been in a fight. At Phoebe, we almost got murdered by some cult in the woods, but our teddy bear friend is still as savage as a real bear. Honestly, I still miss the guy. Haven't heard from him since he found out about his GF and who he thought were his friends.